All right. Hi, we are live. I am Lily of the Light. Welcome. This is Joe Monteleone. I always forget that the camera goes this way. There, that is him. Welcome. And we are going to be talking about the trio of astrology. So sun, moon, and rising sign. And let's just bop it right over. Joe, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you incorporate astrology into like not only your daily life, but your work? Because I know you're a tarot reader too.
Totally. So my name is Joe Monteleone. I am a tarot reader, a teacher of tarot, a love coach, and a performer in dance, fire spinning, and my latest thing is drag. That's a new thing. And in terms of astrology, the biggest way I use astrology is a way to organize and integrate the tarot. I find that astrology kind of links all the cards together and like really glues it all together. And I mostly use it in tarot, in esoteric tarot, and sometimes in reading tarot as well. And then a little bit in my professional practice, I also do some chart reading too about the planets and the signs. I just like think about them. So that's pretty much the extent of my, and then I totally use it as conversation starters and to judge the shit out of people because it's the national religion. What else are you going to do? So yeah, my astrological life. How do you use astrology?
So I use it so we'll go straight into the personal and then we'll talk about business. But so for my personal life, as we were discussing before we went live, like before I date someone, all right, I'm going to need your birthplace, your birth date, your birth time, and then do the chart before you meet them. Just figure out if you even want to date them. I absolutely do that. I am one of those people. And so like for my personal life of like who I will be compatible with for business, I actually have colleagues who that's how they figure out who they're going to work with and who they're going to like give jobs to. Like my friend has a publicist and she did her astrology chart before working with her to make sure that it was going to vibe. And I'm like, I respect that. There's nothing wrong with checking with your tarot, your dowsing rods, your astrology to make sure that it works. And so for me, what I do with like my professional life as a holistic practitioner, figuring out how people heal through their astrology, because like Taurus, infamously stubborn. So obviously pushing them really hard isn't going to do anything. So you go a little bit more gentle. And then there's like other people like me. I am a Cancer sun sign. I am a moody little diva. And so sometimes I need people just to be like, okay, I validate what you're feeling. Can you feel it quieter? And I realized then that it's like over the top emotion. And I'm like, oh, thank you. But if someone was like, you're so dramatic, I'd be like, fuck you. So yeah. So what we're going to not dumb this down, but we're going to put it to the bare bones and make this super simple for everybody because astrology in itself is hella complicated. And we're not going to get into that right now. We want to get into the main three that will affect you in your life. So first, we're going to start with the one that everyone uses. So when someone asks you for your astrology sign, they mean your sun sign, the one that's in all the horoscopes and everything like that. And so what does a sun sign mean to you, Joe? Like what's the definition for you?
The sun sign is like the self to me. It's like if I think about the sun in a solar system, it's like the gravitational center. Although I've heard that maybe the sun and Jupiter are doing a little dance. So maybe it's like 40% Jupiter, which kind of makes things interesting when you think of Jupiter as the demiurge, as the manifested universe planet. But that's a whole nother wormhole. But the sun as the center, as like the ego and the self and the part of you that happens to the world. And the glyph itself, I really like because it's the dot with a circle around it. So it's like that core self, that core initiative to live and happen.
Yes. And like whenever I think of it, I think of like affirmations. And so it's like the I am. And so it's like you said, it's the self, it's the core of who you are. Now, the thing about your sun sign is that some people don't exhibit their sun sign because it's the core of who you are. You don't show everyone your core. Not everyone is that comfortable with themselves, and it's also not their style. And that's just who they are. When people ask me, like guess my sign, they always guess Leo. They're like, oh, your sun sign is a Leo. No, bitch. It's a Cancer. I am emotional. I cook and bake. I am absolutely the mothering type person. But my rising sign, what I show the world, is oh so Leo. I am a dramatic lioness. Yes.
I love that. And that's the same for me. Most people, when they guess my sign, they guess Pisces or a water sign. And that's my rising. And my sun is actually Capricorn.
Mm.
Yeah, the rising's interesting. It's like did you want to go into the rising yet or stay with sun for a little bit?
Let's go with rising. I'm loving this flow. Let's go with it.
Cool. Yeah, I just see the rising as the persona, the way that we present the world, the mask. And to me, it's almost like a slight filtration system, because you can't in one moment give all of yourself to another person. I mean, in some philosophies you can, because it's all happening right now. There's just one reality. There's no time, right? But in general, like, you can't give everything. So we filter through all these different personas. And I think it's through the rising sign that we interface with the world. And when I found out, one of the biggest things astrology did for me is like help me understand the way that I interact with the world. Because I always knew I was a Capricorn, and it's like, oh, Capricorns are these cold, money hungry bitches. Like, why am I not cold? And why am I so emotional and feeling all these things? Why am I not just practical like a Capricorn all the time? Then I found out that my rising and my moon were in Pisces. Changed the game for me. And then all of a sudden, years and years of experiences with business, professional relationships, life, I was just like, oh. So that Pisces persona and that Pisces moon, which we'll get to later, is like modifies that Capricorn sun.
Yes. I love that. And you bring up a good point with like your rising sign. So the rising sign is what you show Earth, what you show the universe, how you interact with other people. But with that, everyone is multifaceted. So even your rising sign is still just showing one aspect of yourself to the world or whoever you're interacting with. And so if you're acting out of your rising sign, and so again, mine is Leo, totally just, I wouldn't say egotistical, just like over the top fabulous. That's the way I'll put it.
It's fabulous, really.
Yes, just me. We were talking before we went live, and I was like, my life is a dumpster fire, but there are fireworks in there because it must be glamorous right now. Yes. So yeah, it's important to realize that everything of your astrological chart is part of you and an aspect. And so you can't be expected to live wholly from your sun sign or your moon sign or your rising sign. Like Joe said, it's like there are different aspects of your life that will integrate differently with your signs, and that's absolutely fine. And so when do you think your rising sign comes out the most?
Based off of other people in my life, I would say when I first meet people, because usually when people like talk to me, they're like, oh, I felt so comfortable around you and so fluid and all this stuff. And they just describe Pisces pretty much. And I'm like, oh, word. Little do they know, my Capricorn sun, but which is connected to the devil card in the tarot, by the way. Pisces is connected to the moon. But yeah, that would probably be it when I first meet people. Probably how I approach relationships. But yeah, probably, my intimate relationships, personal relationships, socially. And probably when I have one-on-ones with people is when I'm most Pisces. Or when I ramble about something. That's very Piscean. What about you? What do you feel like your rising is most visible, most powerful?
I can totally see that with you. The Pisces with one-on-one clients. That is awesome. And while I have that on mind, I'm going to put Joe's website up at the bottom. And so when the thing is about him is whenever I talk to him, I am the only person in the room. It is insane. The laser lock like focus that he has on you. And I want to contribute that to him being a Pisces, but I don't know. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to assume, but it's powerful to talk to him because it's almost like being consumed by the energy of like caring and focus and attention. And so that is absolutely what he does with his one-on-one clients too. And I see that it as his Pisces personally. So I think check out his website down there because that is, I'm loving the Pisces energy whenever I talk to him. So
thank you. That's nice of you.
So for me, I notice it a lot actually with like broadcasting. So doing stuff like this. And when I do lives and stuff by myself, I'm not as flamboyant because I have no one to like play off of and everything. But also Leo is the sign of broadcasting. And so doing this kind of stuff comes naturally to my rising sign, but then also teaching classes and doing like events where I'm a vendor and there's like hundreds of people there and you just have to be like on and everything. And it's important for me that my Leo is there. And then I go home and I Cancer it up. I am a hermit crab all the way. Like inside from the paint in of my house, I am a Cancer. And it is absolutely like solitude, hermit style, self-care, don't talk to me. But then when I'm out, it's like, yes, I am absolutely a Leo. So like talking to clients, it comes out a lot, or like teaching classes in front of big groups of people is always when it comes out. And so I really enjoy that. And you can play favorites. I know some people who like love their rising sign and like hate their moon sign because of like how it makes them feel. And however you feel is valid. And I love every aspect of my sign because it makes me me and I am fabulous. And so like, for me, it's like, I honor the fact that I'm my rising sign out in public with clients, but then when I'm home, I'm more Cancer. Like I honor both of those. I would never try and be a Cancer out with clients. That doesn't feel right to me. Do you find that? Like, how do you feel about that?
That's something actually I do feel like my rising and my Capricorn sun is starting to work more with my rising and moon in Pisces, just in how I'm like making changes in my business and the different work that I'm doing and the fact that I'm working all the time. And so it's like, I'm always in my sun. So it's like, but it's also the type of work that I do is so Piscean. So, which is, interesting. And I think they form a square too. So not that they're opposites, but there's like a friction a little bit between Cap and Pisces, I believe, if I'm thinking of it right. But I think they're always active all the time. I would say I do feel conflict with my Jupiter and Virgo, which is directly opposite my moon in Pisces. So it's like one or the other. And it's the critical, I have to make this perfect of Virgo is like, gotta finish it, gotta make it perfect. And the Pisces is just like, what does it mean? What's within? Like, let it flow. Like,
yes.
But that's interesting. I feel that from you as well. Cause like you're someone who I feel like creates so much energy with people. And I hope one day see you at an event because the amount of energy you create with just something like this, I couldn't imagine what it's like at an event or something or teaching a class. That's awesome. But I feel that with you too. Like, I feel like you have a really amazing understanding of your boundaries, and that Cancer superpower comes out as well. That like self-awareness that like it kind of works tangentially with boundaries and with like the inner and the outer world.
And that can confuse some people. So again, remember that you are a whole person and every aspect is going to affect different parts of your life differently. So I go to Michigan and teach classes and do vendor events and everything. And there are some people from Minnesota who do it too. And they're like, let's share a hotel room. Why? And it's because they've only seen the Leo and they think that I'm going to be fun and accommodating and entertaining. And it's like, no, you do not understand. The second that door closes, I turn into a Cancer. Do not touch me. Do not come near me. Like, I need everything my way in this room for me to feel safe and happy and do self-care. Don't even try it. And they're like, I can't see you that way. And I'm like, yes, that's because it's behind a closed door.
That is the point. It's like, girl, you haven't even bought me a drink yet.
Yes. And I'm just like, they're like, oh, that just sounds so like awful. It's like, it's not awful. I love it. I love closing the door and like hobgoblining it for, you know, the 8 to 10 hours before you have to wake up and do it again. It's like, yes. So there will be no room sharing for me and my astrological signs. And hi, Andy. Yes, I love Michigan too. It is wonderful. We should bring Joe out there sometime for funsies.
I love that.
There is a lavender.
Maybe we could stay in the same room. No,
I will, however, always share my Skittles with you.
That's all I need.
I think that is well, the fact that you'll eat the green ones. I have such I don't like hate many things with like a visceral, intense soul passion. The green Skittles is a hate that is so deep in my soul that it's like when you said you'd eat them, I'm like, and that's why we're meant to be friends. Because
this is why you're a Cancer and I'm a Capricorn, direct opposites. We complete each other. And you know, it's so funny, like the Piscean in me, speaking of signs, was like, or one of my spirit guides was like, Joe, you really need to be drinking more water. And it's like, you know, that's just the answer for anything, like health-wise, medically. That is my expert clinical opinion. Just drink more water, right? No, just kidding. But like everything is just drink more water. So I got that like super profound message while I was in the store, and I'm like, how am I going to drink more water? Water's so boring. And then I don't know if I told you this, I saw Skittle flavoring for water. And now I know I'm trash, but like talk about a dumpster fire. But now it's all I drink every day. I put in the Skittle flavoring to the water. It's 0 sugar, 0 calories. It's so good.
It's healthy. Back off. Yes.
Yeah. It makes drinking water a leisurely activity.
Yes, I have my bottle always next to me, and you'd think the fact that I carry it with me everywhere that I would drink so much water. I don't. I like sip it every few hours, and I'm like, that'll do, right?
Yeah,
I can make that work. Andy is saying, so Andy is someone from Michigan who has gone to the events that I do, and she's like, do it, bring him. I'll wear something touchy-feely. And that is because when I see Andy, I will pet her upon what she's wearing. So now she wears like this pink fuzzy sweater that and I'll just walk with, and it brings joy to my heart. It is wonderful.
A multi-sensory experience.
Yes, she is so sensory. I love it. It's wonderful.
Cool.
So I kind of want to touch on, as I'm talking about feels and stuff like that, whether textile or not, what does the moon sign do for you? Because for me, it's all about the feels.
Yeah, it's definitely the feels for me too. I do feel like it's definitely the internal world. I think it's our capacity to create joy or be joyous, or the opposite. So it's how we express all of our emotions, negatively or positively. It's kind of like like the sun generates the thing that we do and that we are, and the moon is the one that's like, ooh, that was cute, or like that passionate, or whatever it is. It's like how we reflect on who we are, feel that. I think it's also our subconscious to a degree, and how we react to things. I know some people say it's relationship with mom. Some people, it's a good one.
Yeah, and yours is Pisces, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So mine is Scorpio, and I know that moon also has to do with like intuition, and then Scorpios are intuitive, and so I rock that really well. But again, like I think it's hilarious that my sun sign and my moon sign are both just like hard-shelled creatures that bite with different parts of their body.
Yeah. Ooh, that's cool. Claws in the front and a poisonous tail in the back. Like, wow.
Yes. I had someone, I was like, so what do you see me as when you see me? And they were like, you know what you are? You're that dinosaur in Jurassic Park, that you're cute and cuddly and oh so nice until someone insults you. and then you fan out like a diva and spit venom at somebody. And then you eat their soul. And I'm sitting there going, I'm good with this. Legit. I'm like, yeah, that sounds nice. I'm cute and cuddly, but don't fuck with it. No.
Good reviews. Nice. I like that. Cool. Yeah, that's balance.
Yeah, it's balance. And I like that. For me, the moon sign is where I court people, I guess. For like, that's how I energetically interact with people. So like, as much as my Leo is like out, if I'm like connecting to your aura or your soul, it's most likely through my moon sign.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's interesting. It's like the moon and Venus to me like create those bonds with people. I think the moon is definitely like in the main interface of all of that. And then the Venus is like maybe how we create those bonds or how we generate attraction and receive attraction. But I think the moon is such a core thing that's already involved the whole time. Feeling, emotion, reflecting. Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, so here's a question. And we are talking about the trio still, just the sun, moon, and rising. But I want to throw in a curveball. So, because it popped into my head and therefore needs to be said, apparently. So for you, do you think like the moon sign and Venus can like hold hands? Because it's like feelings and love. Do you think they should incorporate and complement? Do you think it makes it easier when they incorporate and complement each other?
You know what? I think it depends on the type of relationship that somebody wants. And I think maybe the type of relationship that someone's looking for will be reflected in where their moon and Venus are. I mean, it's 2021. We have, a lot of communities that I'm involved with, a lot of people were throwing out the scripts of what it means to be in a relationship, to date, to connect, or all of that. And so it's very much choose your own adventure. And I'm interested in how that shows up with astrology. But yeah, I think the moon is something, they're both parts of the mind. The moon, we all have every planet in our mind, in our psyche. Yeah. So the moon's always there and the Venus is always there. But that would be, I think that's an interesting question. I think in some ways they definitely have to do with each other. But just how astrology is so nuanced. What the moon may want or may need, because moon has to also do with personal needs, may be shown different, may be exhibited differently in the Venus. And the Venus may take what the moon needs and do it in so many different ways, but it might still get what the moon needs.
Yes. So it's just like most of astrology, it's limitless in what it can do and what part of your life it's going to work with, And so as you were saying, like, oh, you've got rising and moon sign that are Pisces. So I did my chart and I was always like, oh, I'm a Cancer, whatever. I have done my chart and 5 different aspects are Cancer. So it's just all Cancer with like a few other things sprinkled in. That's it. And so I'm like, wow, yep, I am emotional with most of my life, but I'm also very nurturing and caring. But it's like my Lilith, my Venus, my Sun, my Mars. Oh, and there's another one that I'm forgetting.
Ooh, that Cancer Mars.
And so I'm just like, yeah, just gonna be emotional over here. Yes.
Wow, it takes a nerve for someone to ask a Cancer Mars to be in the same room with them. Shit. Wow, that's cool. That's so interesting because I have a stellium in my Capricorn. By the end of this video, everyone's gonna know everything about me when they put it all together. It's like, I'm revealed. Wow, that is cool. How do you feel like the moon can relate to Venus or to other planets or the sun and the rising?
I think for me, it's like, I think they play off each other a lot because it is still like the crab and the scorpion. So there's a lot of like defense mechanisms. But it's also, for me, those were more learned behaviors because I used to jump into relationships. And as I told you, I stopped jumping when I realized I didn't have a parachute. And so it was just every time. And so I was like, all right, maybe we won't be doing that no more. So for me, it's like I find that mine complement very well because it's almost like they both have my highest and best well-being for my emotions as the priority. Like that's it. And I, as much as that's me, I feel like my signs do that instinctually. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah. And I'm the same. I wonder, maybe it's a water thing, like a water moon thing, or just a water sign thing in general. I mean, I used to skydive in relationships too. You know, Piscean right into the ocean, lose myself, drown. Who am I? What is this? You know, all the chaos. Had such a good time. Let me be real. You know, it was delicious. But yeah, same. That ride was fun back in the day. But yeah, I'm maybe it's like something to do with the water sign because the water signs are so psychic and sensitive and like ready to feel and ready to heal and so flexible and so adaptable. So I wonder.
Yeah, and like with my Venus in Cancer, it's all about nurturing, and so I would immediately skydive and be like immersed in someone else's life as like a caretaker, and so it very quickly became unbalanced. But now under like once you understand certain aspects of your tarot, it gets so much I want to say easier, but it's more like an understanding, like, oh, that was that. And so now I go like, oh, that's what happens when my Venus or my moon or whatever get a little ahead of the rest of the team. And so like you honor that.
Yes, that's so well said. It's almost like different parts of the brain light up in response to different things. And I wonder if like different planets in some ways, or the planets archetypally in your mind, in your psyche, light up in response to different things. And certain planets may light up and may do something, and you may take actions and choices based on that may not serve you the best, where if you use them somewhere else, it would serve you completely good. Now, this is just my philosophy. I don't believe anything is really right, wrong, good, or bad. I believe it's just choice, and it's like we're all at the buffet. But if like my moon keeps creating this like pattern with relationships or something, and then I'm like, okay, wait a minute, what's the superpower that I'm not seeing here, that if I could see it, I could put it where it belongs? And that was a big moment for me of saying, oh, I have this moon and rising in Pisces. What is this Piscean superpower? Own that and put it where it works for me, so that the planets are all working for me and I'm like in alignment. And then where does my sun work? That's kind of an interesting, and that's one of my favorite things about astrology is like, people have these patterns and they look at them as bad and they recognize them, but they're not seeing the strength. There's power that's going to create the pattern. Like there's something in you that's creating it. So if you take that, use it for something else, and you can own that part of you, do it for something that's going to actually bring you more fun than the universe. So I always feel like astrology is like finding your superpowers.
I love it. And you know how much I love superheroes. Yes. Yes, find that Batman within. Yes. And it's important so you accept yourself as a whole. So like we've talked about the different signs and stuff like that for us, our sun, our moon, and everything, and how there are positives and negatives to each. And that's good. Like you want to be a whole. And so like I've said, Cancers are super emotional. I do not see this as a negative. I see it as being overwhelming for other people, that I need to be aware of that. And so that I don't typhoon onto somebody at any given moment. But I love the fact that I feel so deeply, that it is such like happiness is not happiness. It's excitement, joy, elation. But I mean, it's equal with sadness then for me too. It's like, it's despair, depression, just crushing. But I love that. I love that I feel so deeply. And I know that's part of having so many parts like in Cancer, is that everything is just so intense. But I would rather have it that way. Like I've looked at some people and I'm like, how boring is your life? Like, you're just like kind of happy. Don't you want to up it a little bit?
Bringing the beat, bringing the rhythm, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to have a good time. I want to have a great time, and I will manifest that. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel the same. I definitely feel the same. Yeah, I mean, that's something I'm learning now, is like a ways to take the risk. And this is in a lot of like Hermetic stuff too. Like like the law of rhythm and the law of tide. Speaking of all this water sign, Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces, we're all talking about the ocean, like the tides coming in and going out. I'm kind of learning ways to like receive the highs and also neutralize the lows, but also be aware of them and be like, oh, that's a thing that's washing over. Okay, work. All right, cool, that's done. And then just like, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yep. And like you were saying before, some things just don't fit. It's like, oh, I'm trying to do this out of like my rising sign. And it's like, maybe you don't need to. Maybe you need to rock out a different sign that is going to do something else. So like a lot of people think that how they deal with emotions and how they process emotions and even like karmic, energy and ancestral energy. And it's like, oh, you're just repeating a pattern because you're doing it out of a sign that is very rigid. But maybe if you did, like we said, like a water sign where it just flows over you and you go and sit in a corner and cry for a few hours and then take a deep breath and then let, the Virgo, the Capricorn kind of march you through some shit. So yeah. And it's because I remember I had an astrology reading last month and she was talking about like me running my business, and I love my business. I love what I do. I love seeing clients. I love teaching classes, all that stuff about my website down there. And it's this thing that she said, okay, so when you run your business, you're Leo, so your rising sign is you out at events, doing Facebook lives like this, everything like that. And she's like, you need to honor that. Don't try and do an event out of Cancer. That will not go well for you. You'll probably get offended really quickly. You'll probably get burnt out really fast because you want to love and nurture everybody. Boundaries. And then it was, so that's with dealing with clients, but there's so much more to business than that I feel like people sometimes forget. And you as a business owner know that like you still have to do bookkeeping and correspondence and my God, taxes and all that stuff. And she said, well, that's where your Scorpio is going to come in. Your Scorpio will defend and protect your literal business. And I was like, I like that. I feel empowered coming from my Scorpio. Like, you want to touch my business? I'll cut a bitch. Like, I worked for this. This is mine. And I feel so much more empowered coming from like my business model is a Scorpio. And then me dealing with clients and teaching is the Leo. And then it was how I nurture my clients and how I help them heal will be very Cancer. And so using the sun, moon, and rising sign very differently in one business. And so when we're talking about find your superpower, it's stuff like that. Like what aspects of what signs in what house or whatever could benefit you, because you might just need to switch it. Like you can't tell right now. So I am half organized and half just a frat boy, messy little hobgoblin. And so like, if you ever see my closet, there are color-coded hangers and everything has a category and it is quite intense to see. But then if you were to ever see what I call my little hermit nest, which if you've watched videos with me and Joe before, you have heard me talking about my lovable hermit nest with its like blankets and pillows. And it literally looks like Big Bird lived there. And everything is within arm's reach, but it looks awful. Like it looks just messy. And it's not messy. It's just a lot of stuff in the nest. But it's like, I honor those different aspects of my life and those different signs that do different things. If I tried to be organized in my nest, I think I'd be miserable because my nest is all about self-care and relaxing and taking care of myself and not judging that like I fall asleep on the couch or something. Do you find that like honoring what aspect goes with what part of your life?
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of it, it's as you talk about it, it makes me think of how it's like honoring the planets where they are for what they are. And it's like, which is, I mean, in a lot of the work that I do with coaching, it's all about, really simply put, it's about being in alignment with yourself. I mean, I believe, this is my fun belief. I mean, every belief system is BS. That's what it stands for, BS, belief system. But the BS that I'm working with is that when you're completely in alignment with yourself, you could make anything happen that you want, because if you actually want it, if you truly want it 100% with every molecule, it will just show up. And if it's not showing up, there's somewhere where maybe you don't quite want it. And that's what the coaching is really about, is like getting the client to be in alignment with themselves fully. And then things really do start showing up, because the inner world is the outer world. Inner equals outer. I mean, I come from kind of a little hermetic-ish viewpoint of things, but I do believe that's why in the tarot, the magician has those 4 tools, you know, for the 4 elements. You have the pentacle, the wand, the sword, and the cup, the 4 elements. And it's like the beginning of, let's align these 4 parts of me so I can create literally the whole universe, which ends in the universe of the world card. That was a little tangent, but in terms of the planets, yes. And I think a good question that I like to ask for myself and like clients is, if there's a block or if there's a challenge, looking at the planets, especially that sun, moon, rising, and saying, where am I neglecting my sun? Where am I not fueling my sun? Who I am? Where am I neglecting my moon? Where am I neglecting my ability to feel, reflect, what creates joy for me, whatever, my intuition? Where am I neglecting the persona, how I show up in the world? What do I want to be, you know, how do I want to express myself? And yeah, I think with those 3, it's definitely a process. But I mean, I think that's kind of like, in some way, how you turn lead into gold anyway. It's like aligning yourself, getting closer to your higher self. And maybe those planets are little indicators of where we need to go to bring more of ourselves to the light, the lily of the light.
Yes. And it's all about rocking your authenticity, however that manifests in your chart or in your life. And it's about like, so your sun sign is who you are, and you might not want to show everyone who you are, and that's fine. Or you could be the person who shows everyone who you are. A little weird thing. So, you know, I don't know if you did this growing up, but I did, like, back when, oh my God, I'm going to age myself. Back when it was like in newspapers and magazines, they did the horoscope. And I would always go there and I'd read Cancer, and it never fit. Ever. Didn't sound right. You want to know which one fit? Scorpio. I did not, and I was young enough that I hadn't done my chart and I didn't know what my moon sign was. I just thought I was like broken or something, because it's like, but I resonate with Scorpio so much more. And so now I'm older and I'm like, because I am a moon baby. I go with the energy of Mother Goddess and everything like that. And so my moon sign is very important to me. So it's like, yeah, that's where I would go. So it's, if your horoscope isn't accurate, maybe you are living from your rising sign or your moon sign. Be gentle curiosity. Just be open to it. There are lots of possibilities.
Yeah, and I mean, I also think that we also all embody all the signs. If we're thinking of like the sky itself as like the basis, the zero, the quantum zero, or like the Tao or whatever, we all come from the sky. So we embody different things. Yeah, it's definitely something I like to play with and like invoke those different planets in different ways. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Say Pisces moment. Floating away.
That is so cute. So I love talking. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I talk a lot. And one of the things that I like when I first meet people, I will tell them my Mercury is in Cancer. My Mercury is huge. I will talk nonstop if you give me the chance. And everyone's like, what? So people who don't know astrology are like, what? And I'm just like, oh no, Mercury controls communication. And I am perfectly happy with the size of my Mercury.
I love that. Cool. I love that. Yeah, Mercury's a fun one. My Mercury is conjunct with my Mars right on my midheaven. So my favorite interpretation of that is my horrible relationship with technology, because Mercury is also technology. That's kind of more of a superficial one, but it's like that's the excuse. But yeah, it's like and also like the planets also have like they do really good things, and they can also detract you in certain ways. So it's like how we like Mars isn't always anger all the time. It's also like the will to live and survive. So but yeah, that's interesting. Fun stuff.
I love it. And I know we've kind of like gone a little bit off the trio and everything like that. But if you guys have seen us talk before on Tarot Off the Cuff or anything like that, you will know that it happens occasionally. On one discussion we did like, we were doing it on tarot and like physical manifestations of the tarot. And we did a hard right into sugar and candy. And I still believe that that was the best choice for the conversation.
Absolutely.
It was meant to go to Skittles and fruit and being happy and raising your vibration that way. So yeah. So I have a question for you.
Method. What?
So a lot of people are asking, like, how do you find out? Like, most of us know what our sun sign is. How did you find your moon and rising and everything?
Oh, I like to use astro-seek.com. That's just where I plug in, and then you just plug in your information. But I don't have any like complicated software that I use. What do you use?
So I got my chart done a while ago, and I basically Googled like astrology chart and then clicked on like one of the first top 3 that was like astrologyreport.com or something, and then plug in the all your information, and then it gave it to me, and I've been using that ever since.
Cool. Then another cool thing about astrology, which is interesting to me, is it's very, in the way that we work with the information, it's very abstract.
Yes.
Because I don't know about you, but I've never actually seen up close one of these planets that they keep talking about. And this Earth looks pretty flat to me. I'm just kidding. Was I gonna go into the flat earther wormhole? But, what? She's like, yes. Okay, that's our last live together.
It's awful no matter what.
Yeah, no, but I'm not really a flat earther, but I am so interested in talking to a flat earther, if anyone is. So interested in that, like totally different, like a reality tunnel. But yeah, it's like abstract. And like, I'm not someone who, like, I have a friend of mine who's really good with this, who like has a telescope and is an astronomer and a theoretical physicist and a total genius. But it's like, that's far away from my wheelhouse, maybe in the next life. But yeah, it's like, it's very abstract. So it's like informational to me. Whereas tarot's, not to compare it to tarot, but tarot's like the cards in front of you, which is interesting to me. But yeah, how do you feel about that and how you interface with that set of tools, astrology versus, because I know you do so many different modalities and you work in so many different ways. How is astrology different for you?
I like using astrology, like symbolism, and like you said, like with the tarot, I even have a deck next to me. Of course, it's always within arm's reach.
I love that deck. Churro is great.
I think I told you, but I met him in New York at a tarot conference, and I fangirled so hard. Like it was a Justin Bieber moment. It was. I have a picture of me with him, and you can tell.
Oh my God! Yes, absolutely.
So, it's awesome. But yeah, so I think tarot is more like concrete almost. Like you can use your intuition, and yes, there's symbolism, but I feel like you can, like you said, it's so much more abstract to work with astrology. And I like working with not the basics of astrology, but it's like, okay, this is what Pluto means. This is what Mercury means. And then this is what your sign means. And so it's like, oh, you're having trouble with boundaries. What's your Saturn doing? What's going on with that? And going into it that way, where with the tarot, it's, pulling cards and then interpreting the cards. But I want to take a minute and get real bitchy. Are you open to this?
I am ready to receive it all.
Awesome.
Permitted.
So I want to be clear about something that is a misconception for people, and it will not fly at all here at all. And it's, my sign made me do it. Or negative aspects of your sign mean it's okay. And so I am a Leo rising. So one of the negative aspects of a Leo rising, of a Leo, is my way or the highway thinking. I am right, you are wrong. Like I used to look at people and say, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. Oh, yeah. And so if you ever don't use astrology as your excuse to be like, well, it has to go my way because this is my sign. Or of course I cuss you out because I'm emotional and I'm allowed to be that way because of my sign. Your astrology does not permit bad behavior or toxic behavior towards other people. And I know that this is my opinion and other people will have different opinions, but I think it needs to be said because I've had a lot of people come to me and be like, but that's okay that I did that because I can cheat because I'm a Gemini, so I need to do multiple things. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, if you're going to cheat, try polyamory or something. Like, don't blame your sign for poor behavior. How do you feel about that little tangent?
I think the signs are much bigger than us. Literally, the constellations, the sections of the sky, and the archetypes. And so I wouldn't talk shit about them. No, I don't know. It's like the way that I view it. Now, this isn't the way that I view astrology is it doesn't, and I mean this in the best way, the planets, they do not care. They don't care about you. They're just happening through you in the same way that the billions of years in evolution in our mind that is telling us to say that one thing to that one person because whatever, we're triggered, we're feeling all this stuff, I don't know. That part of the mind doesn't care about you. And so you can say anything you want about like, oh, my sign made me do it, or it's because of this. And I believe that in some way that's kind of invoking the darker aspects of that sign. And by darker, I don't mean like bad or evil, but it's like, will it really serve you? Is that what you want to create? So if you have that like Gemini sun and like you're cheating and all of that, I mean, you're going to just find a lot of cheaters and that may be fine for you. And maybe, that's a big thing that I work on with my clients. If there's a pattern that shows up, do we love it? Because we usually do. And like, that's allowed, but it's like, yeah. And it's like, the signs can lead us to the planets can bring us to greatness or bring us to our own destruction in the perfect style that is them or the signs or whatever. And it's kind of up to us because the energy, because it's almost like I like, tarot includes everything, judges nothing. Astrology includes everything, judges nothing. Like, with my Pisces, I've had moments in my life where I had to choose like, okay, am I going to like drown in like this moment of substance abuse, or am I going to make this psychic business that's going to save the world, and both are fine. Doesn't matter. Both can happen. And I chose the better of the two for me. So I think it depends on what you want to do with the energy. They're all lots of very powerful and you can create so many things, but yeah, it's really, but yeah, I think it is so easy to just be like, oh I'm a so-and-so, but also that's so limiting because once you say that, you have a point of view and you're blocking yourself from the rest of you as an infinite conscious being, but also the rest of your chart.
Yeah.
Which is very nuanced and very complicated. So yeah, that's kind of my thing about that. I mean, I love labels. I love ideas. I love neatly abstracted titles for things because that's how I love to create and like interface with the world, but they're also very limiting,
Yeah. And it's about like accepting all of yourself and knowing that it's a choice. Like the idea that somehow a sign or an aspect of your chart made you do something. And it's like, okay, well, that took away free will. That's not really the human experience, at least in my belief system, in my BS. And it's also honoring, like you said, everything. So as we've discussed, Cancer is super emotional, little moody. And that can be misconstrued as a negative, but it's also my aspect of my sign that I deal with. And therefore it's my responsibility to interact with that aspect of myself as I see fit and in a healthy way that I want to. And so it's like, own it, own all of it, own the whole beautiful experience. Don't just like pick and choose and be like, does that make sense? Like you're a whole person, positive, negative, dumpster fire, whatever, just rock it out exactly as it's meant to be rocked out with honor and respect for yourself. Like you said, don't be limiting.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, and I feel like it's such a weird balance to have, because I feel like there are so many systems now that label, and I think to analyze something is to separate something into different parts, which I do love. Tarot analyzes things, astrology does, and it labels different things. But I think the more we do that, the more we, in some ways, get a little bit farther from the holistic truth, which is oneness. I hate to be cheesy, but like, it's this consistent thing. Well, depending on your BS, that's my BS. We're all part of consciousness, this oneness. And so kind of the price of analysis is kind of in some way getting a little bit farther from it. But when we bring it all together, we get closer to it, which isn't to say we shouldn't analyze, because it's so much fun. Yeah. And it's like, there's so much to play with. But to see yourself as taking part in that planet, in that sign, and reveling, is that the word? I don't know what that word. Enjoying it,
Yes.
And also, but not just that. Not just your pinky.
Yes, it's this whole like broadening your mind thing. I did that I taught a class, and it was about past life work, and people kept asking me, and I was like, okay, that is one school of thought. That is, and I'm like, it's not my school of thought, but yes, it is a valid school of thought that exists. And one of the students came up after and asked a question. I said, okay, so here's what you have to do. You have to expand your mind outside of the human existence and realize that everything exists simultaneously, and everything is true, even if it contradicts itself, because that's limiting, thinking that it contradicts. It all exists. And she was like, and I said, yep, it's hard for your human brain to expand like that, but just realize that it all exists all at the same time, even if it contradicts itself. And that's what makes it beautiful and expansive. And it's like, to me, it's mind-blowing in the best way, because you're just opening up to like, oh my God, this is so cool. Look at all this new and fun that I get to work with and learn about. And then you really figure out what resonates best with you through it. And then that's the path you follow. That's the BS that you go with.
Yes. Oh, I love a good BS. Love a good BS.
I never heard that until you said it. I'm so using that now. With your consent, I want to BS.
Yeah, I have to give it credit. I definitely stole that from Robert Anton Wilson, who's like one of my favorite minds ever. He's a writer. He's a lot of things. Kind of esotericist, psychonaut, researcher, brilliant. But yeah, he's cool. But yeah, it's pretty wild. So, what would you say is your favorite thing about your big three?
That they each serve me in a completely different way, that nothing is the same, and yet it's all me. I love the fact that everything is completely diverse, because I like that. Someone said to me recently, like, oh, I don't see you as queer, and I don't see you as straight, and I don't see you as gay. And I looked at it and I said, I'm omni. And it just like came out. And I was like, I encompass everything. I want to encompass the whole. And it's like, so I won't be put into a category, though I identify as queer. It's like, I am omni. I am the whole. I am ever present. And they were like, yeah, I can see you more encompassing everything than being a part of. And so I view it kind of like that. It's like, I'm not just my rising sign, even though that's what most people see. I'm not just my sun sign, even though that's what's true to me. It's like, it's all. So I love the allness of it.
Cool.
How about you?
I would say I love my Capricorn nature to, if I really like something, this is something my whole life. If I like something, I will get obsessed with it or really go there. And then like a year later, I'll be like higher and higher and higher, depending on different things. So yeah, I get obsessive with Capricorn. Love it. That's the devil card. Can't get enough of something. And I just always follow through. But then the Piscean aspect, I do enjoy I like the mystical aspect of the Piscean nature because when I was reading more into Pisces, when I was getting into astrology, it made so much sense how like the Pisces is so connected to the subjective universe and like not just the emotional world, but like the underlying stratum of reality itself. Like, what is going on here? And I was like, whoa, that. So that's fun.
I feel like Pisces is so like the web of existence, though. Like you said, like it's under the surface, but it's so expansive. Like Pisces, I feel like there's always a connection. That I feel like that is the weirdest thing that I've said to you. I know it's not, but it just
I love it. Yeah. That it's that weird place of like, it's that last house, the house of sorrows, like, which is like that end of your life. Like, what is all this about anyway? Like,
yeah, reflect on the whole. So I have a question for you, and I don't know if you know the answer, but I'm super curious. So I know Cancer is the Chariot. What's Scorpio or Leo? Do you know off the top of your head? Because I don't.
Scorpio is death, and Leo is the Strength card or the Lust card.
I can see that with both of them. When you said death, I'm like, yep, it's always going. Like it's because death is not a bad card, and it doesn't mean literal death for those of you who don't know much about tarot, but it's always about transformation and shifting into a new version of yourself. And so I'm like, yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we are almost out of time. Is there anything else you want to talk about, babe?
Quick plug. I am teaching a tarot class. It's called the Tarot Mothership course. You can find it at tarotwithjoe.com. It's actually full, but I've been getting some requests, so I am opening up like a couple more spots. But if anyone is interested, let me know. And you can find all my stuff at tarotwithjoe.com. My Instagram is tarotwithjoe. Email is tarotwithjoe@gmail.com, and YouTube is youtube.com/Joe Monteleone, my full name.
And again, working with Joe is so much fun. And so if you want like a mind expanding experience, I would suggest a one-on-one with him personally. Like, because I know he does classes and he's great at teaching because he is super smart. He's the scary smart, in case anyone's wondering. He's the smart that's intimidating. He doesn't look it on here, but he is. And it's not a negative. He is so brilliant that I love talking to him because I always feel smarter after I
Same to you. Absolutely same to you. I absolutely love getting on calls with you. It's so much fun. I love your Leo energy, and like your awareness with your Cancer energy is so much fun. And I cannot wait to see you at an event or take your class. It's going to be so much fun. And I want to thank you so much for having me. This was really awesome.
Definitely. Thank you so much for coming. And if you guys have questions or anything like that, you can go to my website and message me, or this will be on Facebook. This will be on YouTube. I'll send it to Joe for all of his clients so he can post it wherever he wants. Remember that you're a whole person and your astrology reflects that. And so if you want to learn more about your sun or your moon or your rising and how to incorporate it into your life, I strongly recommend it because your life will be easier. And that is nice. It's not like the best part of life having it be easier, but who doesn't want a little bit of slutty in their life? Like I want a nice, easy, trampy life for at least the next 3 months. That's just my personal life goal.
Oh, I want a nice, easy trampoline for this summer. Or maybe, I'm thinking of like outdoors things. I'm really getting to this outdoor. The Virgos in my life are just so amazing. I'm just on this Virgo fetish right now, and I'm just like connecting to the outdoors a lot.
Yes, I love Virgos. And that is, on an end note, Joe and I have talked, we absolutely have favorite signs that our energy works well with, and we have discussed it. And so we will not go into it in this one because it will be like so long. But so if you find signs that it's like, oh, like every time I hear Virgo, I'm like, hello, be my friend, be in my life. Then again, whenever I hear Cancer and I'm a Cancer, I'm like, oh, we probably won't get along. I'll love you as a person, but we probably will not be like uber close and spend a lot of time together. So just have some gentle awareness for yourself about what signs you interact with best with and how you vibe like that. So again, Joe, thank you so much. You are awesome and amazing. And I hope to do this again with you super soon.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Lily.
All right. Have fun, everybody. We will talk to you later.